Okay, the next item, Grundy Park, adjacent to 586 Cherry Avenue. This is a request for a conditional use permit to install a wireless telecommunications facility within the open space zoning district on a joint utility pole per sections 12.220 and 12.84160 of the San Bruno zoning ordinance. Staff report.
Thank you. As stated, the applicant has applied for a use permit to install a telecommunications facility within the open space zoning district. The site itself is located at Grundy Park, adjacent to 586 Cherry Avenue. The applicant is proposing to expand the existing utility pole on site and will install 3 antennas on top of that pole. Those antennas will be enclosed by a radome, which will protect the antennas and will screen them from the public right-of-way. The associated equipment cabinets will be located on the north side of the existing restroom and will be ground mounted. They'll be screened by a 6-foot-high wood fence with 2 feet of lattice. One thing that is important to note that this essentially is a replacement project for 1439 Park Avenue. That site was previously denied by the Planning Commission in 2010, and it was primarily denied due to the lack of stealth design. Specifically, those associated equipment cabinets were mounted directly on the pole and really just did not meet the stealth requirement within the municipal code and therefore was denied. The proposal before us tonight actually differs from that denied application by actually ground mounting that equipment cabinets on the north side of the restroom. So therefore the pole will not contain any equipment, just the 3 antennas will be visible with the radome. There will also be a series of conduits coming down the pole, but that is similar to any other public utility pole you see out there today. The Architectural Review Committee did review this project at their December meeting. They did forward it on to the Planning Commission with a positive recommendation. There was one minor recommendation, and that was to replace the chain link fence with a 6-foot-high wood fence with 2 feet of lattice, which the applicant has since incorporated into the plan set. Staff did send a courtesy notice and the required 300-foot notification, but we did not receive any comments from the neighborhoods. Overall, staff is in support of the project. We do feel that it is meeting the stealth requirements within the municipal code. Specifically, the equipment cabinets or the associated equipment cabinets will be screened from public view, and conditions of approval have been added requiring that the pole extension and radome be painted to match the color of the existing utility pole. The applicant has submitted the RF report, and as indicated, the proposal is within the federal threshold standards. A noise study was also submitted, and the equipment does not exceed the municipal code standards. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission approve this use permit application subject to findings of fact 1 through 6 and conditions of approval 1 through 15 within the staff report. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Matt. Any questions of
Yeah, through the chair.
Commissioner Marshall?
It might be an applicant question, but I'll try you first. I believe we were told that PG&E will not allow use of these antennas on any pole that has the cross beam member. Am I not remembering right? We tried to spot, I don't remember if it was T-Mobile or one of the other applicants, when we were looking at alternative sites, we were told that PG&E does not allow any antennas above, and they had a word for the cross member, any pole with a, because it could not be climbed to maintain.
I would defer to the applicant
Okay.
to further address that question.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions of staff?
Yeah, through the chair. It's not clear from the connections from the pole to the boxes. Is that going to be undergrounded?
Yes, it will be underground. There's a series of conduits from the pole to the equipment boxes that will be underground. I would like to point out condition of approval number 14, which requires all conduits shall be 1 foot below all existing utilities and shall be covered by a red cement slurry. That was at request of the Water Division.
Thank you.
Any other questions of staff? Nope. Okay, thank you, Matt. At this time, is the applicant here? If you would please step up and give us a brief description, please.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Misako Hill. I represent T-Mobile, located at 1855 Gateway Boulevard in Concord, California. I'm here tonight to request approval of the proposed facility at Grundy Park. I'm just going to briefly go through some slides, and I'll answer Commissioner Peterson's or Commissioner Marshall's question regarding the pole selection. So this is just a map showing the overhead. This is the pole location, and right there is the restroom location. So this project is a replacement project for the pole at 1439 Park Avenue, which was designed last March. This is a coverage map showing the current coverage in this area. This is the proposed location. So the purpose of this facility is to provide in-house coverage. So we want this area to be green. So this is the proposed coverage at this facility, right here. So this is the proposed pole that we selected. It meets all of PG&E's pole selection criteria. The cross arm issue is when there is another set of cross arms so that it's an X. So when there's double cross arms, that is the difficulty because of climbing space issues. This site was a little easier because we don't have the restrictions of equipment on the pole. Originally, we could not use this pole because there was a riser on it, but since we are not installing any of the associated equipment on the pole, this pole worked for just the antennas on the top. So just overview, the proposed candidate was selected because it utilizes the smallest equipment available for service in this search ring. The proposed antennas will be installed on top of the pole, and I'm sorry, the pole height, the top is going to be 44 feet 9 inches, not 46. So the profile of the existing pole will be maintained, no new pole will be built, and the antennas will be screened in this radome structure. The associated equipment will be located on the ground adjacent to the restroom facility, screened with an 8-foot-high wood fence with lattice top and painted to match the building, the color of the restroom building. And there'll also be a security cover located over the equipment enclosure for safety. So I'm joined tonight by Holly Kirkpatrick, which is T-Mobile's construction manager, Amar Karaba, T-Mobile's RF engineer, and Bill Hammett with Hammett and Edison, and he can answer questions regarding the EMF report or the noise study. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you or staff may have.
Thank you very much. Any questions?
Through the chair.
Commissioner Peterson.
I don't have a requirement in mind, but noticing this observation, the area of your equipment is going to be not readily visible from the street. You will be able to see it if you concentrate on it, but what I'm getting at is it's potentially a vandalism target, and I don't really want to put it in as a condition of approval, but I'd suggest you look carefully at potential vandalism subjects there. And I'm thinking, will there be an electric meter that's supposed to be available to be read by utility personnel on that facility?
Yes.
Will that be visible to the public?
No, it's going to be within the equipment enclosure building.
Probably smart.
So how's the meter going to get read? Oh, smart meter.
Yeah.
Oh, bueno. Okay. Thank you. Just, I'm just thinking with all the problems you're going to have from vandals, it's best if they can't see any equipment.
Yeah, no equipment will be visible.
Thanь you very much.
We don't have vandals in San Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Through the chair.
Commissioner Salute.
That's a good point, Perry. I think, though, at ARC Review, we talked about like a chain link
Yes.
cover for this, right?
Yeah.
That's there?
It'll be, yeah, it's not visible. It's above the equipment behind the fencing.
Okay.
Aaron, did you have a?
Speaking of vandalism, Matt pointed out that we should add a condition related to graffiti and the removal of graffiti on the fence. So I'd like to add our standard condition that graffiti be removed within 24 hours of reporting. I'd also like to add that condition that they explore any anti-graffiti type coatings that they could put on the fence to prevent it in the future, to make it come off easier.
Through the chair, I was even thinking maybe the vinyl fencing instead of a wood fencing, you know, like the PVC fencing that looks the same as the material as that. Maybe if you guys know of any of that stuff that you put on your stuff. I'm just thinking wood fencing, if you got to paint that a couple times, it looks like an old wooden fence around a bathroom now.
Yeah. Probably go for the vinyl look, but it'll look like wood, whatever, be better for you anyway.
Well, it's easier to clean than it is to wood. I mean, that'll be something you and staff can talk about. And if wood is better, yeah.
I do have one question to staff, though, while we're just in this regard. Do we have much, seriously, do we get much graffiti there at that restroom area? I'm just kind of curious.
It pops up from time to time. It kind of it goes in streaks. But yeah, there's graffiti there. You know, every once in a while we get it reported in, and usually it's on city facilities, so we have our own guys go out there
Right.
and remove it.
Okay, thank you.
Through the chair,
Yes, Commissioner Johnson.
here's a question for our director. What has been the trend for fences for other cell site? We're looking now at vinyl and discussing vinyl, and is it, you know, what is the direction
Typically,
you'd
what
like to
we've
see?
had, I mean, I'm not recalling exactly the previous cell sites, but typically what we've had is some type of cyclone with vinyl slatting in it. And I don't know which one is more graffiti proof, whether it comes off easier on the vinyl slats or it comes off easier on wood, or if there's any type of coating that you could put easier on wood that you wouldn't be able to put on vinyl. But what I would suggest is that we word the condition in a way that staff could explore those different options and then implement the one that makes it the easiest to remove graffiti.
Okay, because we certainly have enough of them at this point to have some experience. And
Yeah.
what I'm thinking is, what is the best for just ease of removal, difficult to get, you know, for those that are tagging, that it would not benefit
Yeah.
them to see something on, you can't really see things on Cyclone the same way.
Yeah.
And so what would be a deterrent, I guess, would be more the
Yeah,
point.
we'll take a look at that.
Mhm. Rather than
This
putting
is
it-
somewhat unique in that it's such a prominent location and easily visible. A
Right.
lot of times, all the cell sites are kind of tucked away in some place, so you can't see them as well.
I would like to see that it is left in your decision hands to see what's best
Okay.
and not put a condition that would limit the applicant to go one area, but that it would be through the department.
Okay.
Through the chair.
Okay, Commissioner Marshall.
This is also right up against the bathroom, so if someone's gonna go graffiti it, they were gonna graffiti the bathroom wall instead of the wall there, I mean, the cabinet.
Sure.
It's not like a a freestanding structure, a new spot for them to do it on. I'm just thinking some type of material that if you do paint the bathroom, you can paint the wall and it will all
Yeah.
kind of look the same.
Very good. Any other questions or comments at that point? No? Okay, I would make one comment. You guys have done a good job on, following the guidelines that both staff and the ARC committee set forth, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. Okay, at this time, I'm going to open it up to the public. Anybody from the public wishing to speak on this? It looks like we're all here. Okay, I will close it and bring it back to commissioners.
Through the chair,
Commissioner Peterson?
I move the commission approve use permit 10-15 based on findings of fact 1 through 6, conditions of approval 1 through 15 with an additional 16 that staff will write about graffiti cleanup and coatings.
Okay, there's a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? No, congratulations. There is a 10-day appeal period. Thank you.